so you can see what pause mode, so you can see what's going on. So we've got this debris object here, and then it sort of explodes into bits and pieces. Let's pause it. We've got basically a debris object is built of bits and pieces with a mesh collider on it, with it set to convex just to keep it simple. And I've made it look almost like the original car, so we'll have a look at that. I'll put on the original car, and you can see that it's almost exactly the same, except there's a few bits missing, because you assume they got sort of stripped off in the explosion and burnt to bits, so the illusion works quite well. So if we turn that off and just play pause again, you get this convincing effect of the object exploding, or the car exploding into shrapnel. And I've also added on the tyres, I've added different physics material, so that they sort of bounce a bit if you get lucky and they get shoved into the air, and they collide with the car too, so you can see that in the right hand side. Okay, so I'll show you how that's built. I should just play it so you can just see one real quick one. Pretty cool. So I used Magica Voxel, and I've built the car like that, and then what I did was I just used the erase tool and just started slowly stripping parts out. And so I've got this bit here, one corner bit, and what else we got here? So part of the cabin there where the player sits, or the enemy sits. So it looked like this to start with, and then by just taking out bits using the erase tool, and then just erasing like this, I'd end up with like a fraction of the car, and then you just basically resize. I'll just bring this down a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Resize the box to suit, and you've got a bit of shrapnel there that you can export, so I exported that as an OBJ. And then in Unity, I end up with bits and pieces, so the car and parts. I'll just show you that. Turn it back on. Yeah, and you can just see I've just assembled it as the bits and pieces. And yeah, so when it explodes, let's just see another bit there. When it explodes, it makes quite a convincing effect. So the explosion script I've added to it, I'll show you that too. And that just basically, you keep a list of all the parts that are part of the object. So that's here. And move car, no, this one, where are we? So we've got a list of objects and children, and then I just slot them in piece by piece. Got a bit of life there, so that you can randomize the life on each of them. Oops. And it basically goes through the list of all the objects and does this. It goes for each object, game, objects and children, so it iterates through a list of objects you provide. And if you want to know how to do that, I'll just show you how it's done. Lists are kind of cool, they're arrays. I'll just drop this in here so you can see. So I'll just make that 0, and then what you can do is There's my hierarchy now. I'll just break this out so it's floating so you can see it a bit better. And you can just grab all the bits that you want. Oops, I'll just go back to this and lock it. And the idea is you go through here and grab all your parts that you want. The tyres have got a different sort of physics material on them, so they bounce a bit better. And by grabbing all these and then dropping them into an object like that, which looks like this in code, game object, square brackets, children, go back, drop it in, and it pre-populates it for you. Cool. And then I add a bit of life, and the road speed is so that, because this is just it's a fake scroller, I have to set the debris to go back with the object as well. If I don't, I'll show you what happens. So I'll play that header file because it's prefab. Hit play, and it just sits there in the road as the parts. Alright, so if I add a bit of life to it, so make it move back down the screen a little bit. Now when the things explode, they seem to go back at speed. Now it's all down to the effect, so let's have a look at the effect. I've got a bit of some 8-bit sounds going in the background as well. Here we go. Okay, and I can fire. So when this thing appears, got this car here, I'm just going to play off fire. And we'll just play pause so we can see it. Let's see if we can get in here too. Okay, so we've got the bullet coming up. And we've got the other car there, so I'll just play pause. And then it'll hit the collider. Boom. Okay, and now it's, oh, I didn't realise it's flipped around, but it doesn't matter. And now I've changed it out with the actual debris object, which is set to explode. And I've got some more particles there too. You can see those little blocks there. So they should really, those particles, well, the voxel particle things, should really be changed to be the colour of the car as well. And you can see up ahead, this thing looming towards me, which is quite a cool effect. And you might want to just add damage and stuff like that, but yeah, play it forwards, and there's the bits and pieces. I just got fuel objects there as well, but I'll talk about those in another video. So let's see how it plays. See, those objects don't have the movement speed, so let's go fix that in prefab. Boom. Here they come. Bad shot. And it looks pretty cool. Go here, look. Get down there for a more dramatic shot. Go, 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 fire. And what I want to do is make it, the reason why I've done this is so that A, it looks cool, and also the debris, the damage is important in the game. And also what you do is you collect debris to craft later on in the game, make better weapons, mounting points, that sort of stuff. Scrolling still.